Ito ang nakakagimbal at nakakakilabot na panibagong update sa kaso ng mga missing sa Bungero na mahigit 4 na taon ng pinaghahanap. Isang sako na naglalaman umano ng mga buto ng tao ang nadiskubre ng mga otoridad sa Batangas. Ilang metro lamang ang layo mula sa lawa ng Taal. Nakita ang sako sa lugar kung saan sinasabing dinala ang mga nawawalang sa Bungero na ayon sa naging testimonya ni Jolie Dondon Patidungan. Isa sa ilalim na rin umano sa examination ng mga buto para makumpirma kung sa tao ba talaga o hindi ang mga ito at para matukoy na rin o makilala kung kanino o sino ang nagmamay-ari sa mga nasabing buto. Sa pagkakadiskubre ng mga buto, tila may saysay o tunay talaga umano ang mga naging revelasyon ng nasabing whistleblower na si alias Totoy o Jolie Dondon Patidungan. Partikular na ang pagkakadawit ni Gretchen Barreto at Atong Ang bilang mastermind sa kaso, kabilang na ang mga malalaking tao, makapangyarihan na nasa pwesto pa umano ng gobyerno. Narito ang buong detalye. Ngunit bago tayo magpatuloy, huwag kalimutang i-like, share, subscribe, and click the notification bell for more updates and for more upcoming videos. Maraming salamat!
Itong Isabong ay isa multi-billion peso industry. Pero alam natin sa lahat ng mga stakeholders dito sa Isabong, kahit nagaano kalaking pera mawawala sa inyo, ang pera po ay marirecover yan. Pero yung buhay ng mga nawawala ngayon, as for the record, according to official records of the PNP, meron na silang 31 na missing persons. So itong buhay ng 31 na missing persons na ito ay hindi na maibabalik kung ito'y inyong kinitil na. Kaya doon sa mga suspect, sinong gumawa nitong krimen na ito, I just hope na kung buhay pa yung mga kinidnap ninyo, tinago ninyo, sana i-release na ninyo para makabalik sa kanilang pamilya. At kung siya namang palad ay ito'y namatay na, sana naman bilang isang Kristiyano or bilang kung kayo'y hindi Kristiyano, sana tulungan naman ninyo ma-recover yung katawan, yung bangkay nung pinatay ninyo kung saan man nyo ito tinago, saan nyo nilibing, para mabigyan ng magandang libing sa ating mga mahal sa buhay. So, you can run. You can run. But definitely, you cannot hide from the long arm of the law. Mahuhuli at mahuhuli kayo. Sa laki ng krimen na ginawa ninyo, 39 na tao itong nawawala, hindi po pwedeng walang magdidemonyo sa inyo dahil kayo yung mga demonyo na dati. Didemonyohin kayo na makasama ninyo at ito'y siguradong lalabas ang katotohanan. Kaya sana yun lang ang apel ko sa inyo, kung may buhay pa, i-release na ninyo para makabalik sa kanilang pamilya. At doon naman sa investigating agencies, particularly the PNP, 39 missing persons is too huge a number. At kahit isa man lang na kaso, parang wala pa tayo nakitang na-resolva. Alam ko meron kayong progress sa inyong investigation. Yun nga lang, I cannot completely blame you dahil ang pagkakaalam ko, nung sumabog itong kaso na ito, dito lang napabigyan ng pansin itong kinukonsider natin na case number 1, yung nawawala yung January 13. Then afterwards, nagbabaktak na kayo, sa kanyo na malaman na gano'n na pala ka dami ang nawawalan tao sa Isabong. So, I am urging you to please double time your effort dahil baka may ma-recover pa tayong buhay dito. At alam po ninyo, sana huwag kayong manghina sa investigation nyo. Huwag kayong matakot kung sino man mababangga ninyo. Kung may babangga kayong malaking tao, influential na tao, Kagaya ng ginawa natin sa war on drugs, kahit sino binabangga natin, huwag kayong matakot. Gawin niyo yung trabaho niyo para sa ating mga kababayan. Sana hindi tayo abot sa punto na noon kinatakutan na ng pulis yung mga yung mga drug lord. Nung nawala yung mga drug lord, baka kinatakutan na naman ngayon ay mga gambling lord. Sana hindi mangyari yan. At alam kong hindi kayo papayag na gano'n because kayo ang Philippine National Police. Wala makakaharang sa ginagawa ninyo. Kaya double time your effort, bilisan yung trabaho ninyo dahil ang buong bansa ay nakatingin sa inyong ginagawa na sana mabigyan ito ng solusyon. Doon naman sa mga relative sa mga biktima, mga mahal sa buhay, ako po'y nakikiusap sa inyo na huwag kayong matakot mag-share sa amin ng impormasyon leading towards the resolution of this case. Sana, kung meron kayong tinatago dyan na impormasyon, i-share na niyo sa committee na ito para makakatulong yan sa investigasyon. Huwag po kayong matakot. Nandyan yung PNP to protect you. Hindi kayo papabayaan yan. Huwag kayong matakot kung kahit sinong mabanggain ng PNP, hindi yan sila atras. At doon naman sa ating mga kababayan, ngayon nakikinig, I would like to advise you na bantayan din yung mga mahal niyo sa buhay. Dahil grabe na itong addiction na nagagawa ng isabong. Ang isabong ngayon ay hindi kagaya sa tradisyonal na sabong na kung saan nagkakaroon natin ng sabong tuwing linggo, tuwing may official holidays, or tuwing may pista. Ang isabong po ay 24/7. At the comfort of your bedroom, makakasabong ka, makakapanalo ka, or matatalo ka. Isang pindot lang ng cellphone through GCash and PayMaya. Yun na, boyla. Panalo ka na, or talo ka na. Kaya hindi mo alam sa kakasabong mo, nalibing ka na pala sa problema. Ang laki na ng utang mo. Dahil nga, nandun ka na nakahiga sa higaan mo. At ang masama pa dito, may mga bata pa na na-involve sa isabong na hindi naman dapat. Dahil hindi naman nila online ito. Hindi nakikita kung sino yung nagbibit physically. Kaya hindi natin malalaman. Kaya tanggap ng pusta. At mayroong mga instances na alam natin, may mga bata na nagpakamatay dahil dito. Mayroong ng mga pulis mismo na involved sa krimen, nagnanakaw, doon galing ako kahapon doon sa Oriental Mindoro, may isang pulis doon na nahuli na pumasok sa hardware, nagnakaw. At nung tinanong ng chief of police, bakit ka nagnakaw? Kalaki ng sweldo na pulis. Sir, nalulung po ako dito sa isabong, sir, hindi na ako makabangon. Kaya nagnakaw na ako. At meron pa na hold up na pulis dahil dito. So, 7-Eleven, sir, di ba? Hold up. So, isipin niyo yung polis na napakalaki ang sweldo, sila yung otoridad na kagawa ng krimen dahil sa pagkalulong sa isabong, dahil sa addiction sa isabong, how much more yung ordinaryong tao na walang stable job. So, ito'y dapat natin pagtutuunan ng pansin talaga kung paano natin ma-address yung addiction ng isabong. And itong pagdinig na ito, ang purpose naman talaga nito is kung ma-recover pa natin yung mga tao na nawawala at matukoy natin kung sinong may ang mga salarin, of course, through the efforts of our law enforcement agency, ipipressure natin sila na gawin nila yung kanilang sinumpaang tungkulin. At pangalawa, in aid of legislation, na talagang dapat bigyan ng katuunang strict regulation itong isabong. As I have said, addictive ito at it causes so many social ills. So, dapat ma-actionan ito ng ating gobyerno. Yun lang po, maraming salamat at sana po at the end of this hearing magkakaroon tayo ng linaw sa problemang ito. At alam kong hindi natin matapos ito, uh, mag, uh, mag-schedule pa tayo ng another hearing dahil yung gusto ko mga resource person na didikdikin ng tanong ay wala dito. So sana next hearing mag-a-appear sila para lalabas ang katotohanan. Yun lang po, maraming salamat at magandang umaga sa ating lahat.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, before I recognize you, Senator Grace po, the physically present senators here are, there are 3 of them, so sila muna ang unahin nating mag-deliver ng kanilang opening statement, then afterwards kayo na, virtually present. Is it okay with you, ma'am?
Yes, of course. Thank you.
Okay, thank you po. First, si Senate President is recognized. Sir, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I wish to thank the chairman of the Committee on Public Order, Senator Ronald De La Rosa, for calling this hearing on the rising number of missing persons allegedly involved in Sabong and Isabong related incidents. The fact is, cockfighting is a popular pastime in the country as it dates back to 6,000 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. There is no pastime in the Philippines that is as popular and as old as Sabong. And it even rivals the popularity of basketball dito sa ating bansa. It is said to be a billion-dollar industry, making cockfighting a great source of revenue for the country. Now, the sport is being haunted by a controversy due to the increasing number of missing persons allegedly involved in the said sport. But again, cockfighting has cultural significance, and that is, it has brought entertainment and income to the Filipinos. So the immediate resolution of the matter should be made. So thank you for the public hearing that you called, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir. Senator Ping Lacson, sir, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As your Vice Chairman and erstwhile Chairman of the Committee on Public Order and Illegal Drugs, I have a very brief statement to make. 31 reported missing persons, as of last count or latest count, without any trace apparently, is a big challenge to the Philippine National Police and the entire law enforcement community. Now, failing to resolve these cases will be a big slap or an embarrassment to the PNP as well. So I hope this legislative inquiry can help resolve the issue at hand. So with that, Mr. Chairman, thank you very much for the opportunity to make that statement.
Thank you, sir. Senator Tolentino, you have the floor.
Thank you. We'll defer to the best investigative minds present here. We have 2 former chiefs of the Philippine National Police as part of the committee. We have the former chief of the Dangerous Drugs Board, Mr. Chairman. So I would probably just be infusing some legislative legal inputs relative to the power of PAGCOR to grant franchises, if these are really pursuant to Republic Act 9487, as well as the social implications of what is going on right now, without dwelling into the factual basis of this investigation. I hope this will be very productive. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Tolentino. Next, Senator Poe, Grace Poe. You have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for calling this hearing. Good morning to our colleagues and our resource persons. Napakahalaga po na malaman natin ang punot dulo ng mga issue ngayon. Hindi po biro ang kawalan ng buhay o ang nawawalang mga mahal sa buhay. Kaya po ako sumali din sa hearing na to sapagkat hindi kaila sa atin na merong aplikasyon ang Lucky 8 ng prangkisa sa Senado. Ito'y pumasa na po sa Kongreso. Ngayon ay pagbukas ng Senado muli sa darating na Mayo, tatalakayin natin. At mabuting bukas ang talakayan na ito. Alam nyo, maraming nagsasabi na huwag bigyan ng prangkisa ang Lucky 8 sapagkat may mga nangyayari nga sa ating lipunan na hindi kaaya-aya dahil sa sugal. Pero ang totoo nun, ang nagbibigay naman talaga ng provisional license to operate ay ang PAGCOR. So, ngayon na binibigyan nila ito, dapat talagang talakayin din sa Kongreso kung naayon ba na magkaroon ng prangkisa ang isang pasugalan katulad ng Lucky 8. Ngayon, ito naman ang ating iisipin. Pag merong prangkisa, unang-una, merong oversight. Mas mababantayan ang mga ganitong klaseng operasyon. Mas magkakaroon ng malinaw na mga probisyon kung ano bang papayagan natin, 24 hours ba na sabong or kung ano man ang mga ibang regulasyon na maaaring maaprubahan. Pangalawa, doon din sa prangkisa, merong kapangyarihan ng Kongreso na bawiin ang prangkisa na ito pag nagkaroon ng violation o hindi pagsunod sa mga naayong probisyon sa prangkisa. Isa pa, kung ano man ang kinikita ng isabong na ito ay maaaring ibigay sa natatamang ahensya ng gobyerno bilang buwis para mabigay naman sa mga ibang programa na kailangang ipatupad ng gobyerno katulad ng universal healthcare. So ngayon, tama yung sinasabi ng ating chairman na isang buhay, 30 ilang buhay ay napakahalaga. Kaya iisipin natin mabuti, sa pagbibigay ba ng prangkisa, mas makakabuti ito sa kabuuan ng ating lipunan para mas mabantayan ng ganitong uring mga pasugalan o hindi ito makakabuti sa atin. Kaya sana naman maresolbahan ang mga kaso na to at malaman kung sino talaga ang mga responsable. Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Grace po. Next is Senator Joel Villanueva.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Magandang umaga po. Maraming salamat sa pagkakataong ito sa ating mga dear colleagues. Magandang umaga din, Mr. Chairman. I would just like to share my 2 cents on the abduction of at least 31 people na ho pala hailing from Manila, Laguna, and even from my home province here in Bulacan because of their involvement in gambling activities. Mr. Chairman, hindi po ito unang beses na nangyari ang ganitong mga insidente. Ito pong 31 missing individuals are just the latest casualties. Napanood ko po nung isang araw yung sa news, yung isang video kung saan nakuha sa CCTV ang pagdakip sa isang residente ng San Pablo, Laguna. Nagpanggap pa pong mga NBI agent ang nag-issue ng warrant of arrest, and the victim was reported to be a master agent of online sabong and was accused of game fixing. Mr. Chairman, I leave it to the proper authorities to determine the specific motives and reasons behind these disappearances. Ang obvious lang po dito, Mr. Chairman, sa atin, tingin ko, malinaw na malinaw, sanhi ito ng sugal. Sanhi ito ng napakadaming sugal na naglilipana sa ating lipunan, Mr. President. The records will bear us out na nasa kamera pa lang po tayo ay lagi na natin itong pinapaliwanag sa ating mga kababayan kung bakit hindi po talaga makakabuti ang sugal sa ating bayan. Lalo na po itong online sabong. Una, ginoong Mr. Chairman, kabaligtaran po ng lahat ng pagpapahalagang Pilipino ang pagsusugal. How can we teach our youth to be industrious and to take their study seriously if gambling is rampant left and right, or by giving them the false hopes that the game of chance can actually improve lives? Recently, Mr. Chairman, a 19-year-old student in Davao de Oro was arrested by the police after he was unable to pay more than 500,000 in bet money for online sabong. Other students have resorted to stealing from their parents to play, some of whom are minors. There is also a reported incident involving a Quezon City police officer, binanggit nyo kanina, Mr. Chairman, who robbed an LBC branch in my province in San Miguel, Bulacan. Sayang naman po, Mr. Chairman, yung investment natin sa education and training. Kung mababaliwala lang din po sa, dahil iisipin na lang ng ating mga kabataan, meron palang shortcut may shortcut sa pag-asenso. Eto, magsugal na lang ako, ba't ako magbabanat ng buto, mag-aaral pang mabuti. May shortcut naman. Pangalawa, Mr. Chairman, ipinapakita po ng rising number of missing persons allegedly involved in gambling o sa isabong na napakataas ng social costs ng sugal. In a news article written by Ms. Susan Ople of the Blas Ople Policy Center and Training Institute, sabi po niya, she cited circumstances of several of our OFWs who placed bets online with payments done electronically. She stated that even labor attaché Resty de la Fuente flagged online gambling as an emerging concern among OFWs. And the list goes on, Mr. Chairman, with stories of bankruptcy, broken families, and other criminal activities as a result of gambling. There's also this 2011 study by Baylor University in Texas, I just want to put this on record, stating that the social costs for each pathological gambler is $9,393 per year, or almost $500,000 pesos kapag pinagsama-sama po yung nagagastos sa pag-solve ng krimen, adjudication, lost job productivity, unemployment insurance, therapy, treatment costs, suicidal, social services costs, at iba pa. And last but not the least, Mr. Chairman, gusto ko lang pong sabihin, in relation to my second point, na-establish na po ng maraming pag-aaral na ang pathological gambling is a mental disease. And there is a correlation between gambling and suicide. Kahit po ang World Health Organization kinlasify ang pathological gambling na isa pong sakit. Now, ano po ang mga sintomas? Deaths and lies. Pangungutang at pagsisinungaling. These two symptoms, where to? Saan po ito pupunta? Broken marriage, dysfunctional family, children dropping out from school, infidelity, domestic violence, and now kidnapping. Klaro po, Mr. Chairman. This public hearing is very timely, kaya salamat, Mr. Chairman, for calling this hearing because it's about time we wake up to the downside of gambling and discuss yung ill effects po niya, yung ill effects especially during these times of major health and economic woes. Of course, we should also exert all efforts. Equally important po to locate ito pong 31 missing individuals, save their lives, and return them to their families and loved ones kung may buhay pa po tayo nakikita. Muli, ginoong Mr. Chairman, trabaho po at hindi sugal o ang pagtaya sa sabong, isabong ang magbibigay sa atin ng oportunidad sa ating mga kababayang Pilipino. Ito po ang dahilan kung bakit tayo po ay narito ngayon dahil trabaho ang trabaho natin. Maraming salamat po, Ginoong Pangulo, at sana po lahat tayo hindi pumayag na mabaliwala ito dahil sa sugal na hindi naman po oportunidad, kundi panganib ang hatid sa ating mga kababayan. Muli, God bless us all. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Maraming salamat, Senator Joel Villanueva, at I would like to take this opportunity that this humble representation is expressing his gratitude sa aking mga colleagues na andito ngayon, nag-attend physically at virtually, kahit na tayo ay naka-break. Salamat at tinutulungan ninyo ako at napakabigat po itong problema na ito. Again, Senator Pia, I just would like to, yung sa listahan natin, nauna si Senator Pimentel. Senator Pimentel muna, din ikaw, Senator Pia. So thank you. Senator Pimentel, you have the floor.
Thank you, and thank you to Senator Pia for being a very understanding colleague. Mr. Chairman, congratulations for holding this hearing, which is in the nature of an investigation. Alam nyo, nung una ko itong narinig, itong problema na ito, at ako'y nagko-congratulate din sa GMA News, no? Kasi napansin ko na sila ang nakatutok po sa issue na ito. 20 pa lang nung nalaman ko ito, 20 missing persons. Ngayon, na-update nyo po yung figure natin ay 31 na pala. Nung 20 nga, naalarma na ako because napakalaking grupo nito. Kung merong isang tao or isang grupo or organized group ang nasa likod nito, pinapakita nila that they are as powerful as our PNP. Napaka-delikado na po nito. We cannot allow such a person, a group, or a syndicate to continue to exist. Ngayon, 31 na ang missing person. So, mabuti at yung mga pamilya po nila ay nag-organize na, nagde-demonstrate para po ma-focus yung atensyon ng mga law enforcers and policy makers as well as legislators on this particular problem. Na sa naririnig ko po sa mga opening statements, ang ating sinususpetsahan ay e-sabong. Actually, not the normal physical sabong, but this new way of playing sabong, which is e-sabong. So, tignan po natin kung anong malalaman natin through our hearings at sana malaman natin ang punot dulo nito. But may mensahe na lang siguro natin sa mga pamilya ng mga disappeared, hindi po bibitawan ng Senate Committee on Public Order itong issue na ito hanggat hindi natin malaman sino ang mga nasa likod nito. So I just have one question to the chairman. Sino po yung sinabi ninyo, sir, na hindi present ngayong araw na gusto niyo sanang tanungin? Kaya tuloy magre-reset tayo. Surely magre-reset po tayo ng another hearing, Mr. Chairman?
Yung mga management ng mga
Isabong.
arena
Yeah, okay.
na inibitahan natin, yung mga gwardya hindi po dumating. And I think they are only represented by one attorney, Angelo Nino Santos. So, mas gusto ko sana humarap dito yung mga nandoon talaga during the time of the incident nung nangyari yung pagkawala ng mga tao na nagsasabong doon sa arena. I'm sure that Attorney Santos is
Sige, Mr. Chairman. Sige.
So, yun lang gusto ko, yung mga tao doon sa management ng mga arena. Yun lang gusto kong papuntahin dito.
To end my opening statement, Mr. Chairman, I will support any motion in the course of this hearing which will force these people to attend our investigative hearing. So, salamat po, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Senator Coco Pimentel. In fact, the PNP has filed already several cases of obstruction to justice. At sana, kung ini-snub na yung PNP, dapat itong committee natin ay hindi la-snubin. So, salamat sa pagbigay mo ng reminders na gano'n. Next is Senator Pia Cayetano. Please, you have the floor, sir. Ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to thank the chairman for taking time to call this hearing. It's a very important matter, and I'd like to say hello to our colleagues since we are not in session. We don't see each other, but a special mention to our colleagues, Senator Lacson, Senator Soto, Senator Joel, who are busy campaigning and yet consider this a very important hearing and are present today to attend. Thank you talaga. I personally appreciate your presence in this hearing kasi imbis na umiikot kayo, nag-aabala kayo dito sa napakalaking issue na to. So let me also join many of our colleagues who have expressed their concern on the disappearance of, as was updated, 31 people in connection with Sabong and Isabong. As Senator Joel had mentioned, we already know that so many problems are associated with e-sabong, and gambling and online gambling makes it even easier. So he mentioned broken families, mga pamilyang apektado, suicides, lahat yan alam na natin. No? I don't have to even repeat it. But even in the news, I think today, pati police nang hold up ng gas station para makabayad daw ng either pangbayad niya or pangsugal pa niya. So it's really terrible, and it is very clear that this is a social illness. So we have options. As Senator Grace Poe correctly pointed out, there is a franchise bill pending in her committee. This has already been reported out. With all due respect, I would have wanted to ask more questions, especially to PAGCOR, especially to the franchise holder, because I know Senator Poe does her best to explain when all of us, when we're the chairman and we're on the floor, but I had wanted the opportunity to be able to directly ask these people these kind of questions. Kaya very timely po, Mr. Chairman, ang pagtawag nyo kasi this gives us another opportunity to directly question these people who are bringing in, who are encouraging, who are financing all the elements that go into a lucrative online gambling institution in our country. And I mentioned that there are different people, different groups that play into this because it's not just the franchise holder. It would also be the loan sharks. It would also be creditors, online payment systems that are not doing their job well or which require regulations on our part. Because paano magkakautang ng ganun-ganun kung ang limit ang laman ng debit card niya is 2,000. For example po, ako, nag-GCash ako. Pupunta ako sa coffee shop, tapos sasabihin ko, ay sorry wala na pang laman yung GCash ko. 50 pesos na lang pala. Tapos, eto yung totoo niyan, magte-text ako sa staff ko, sasabihin ko, pakilagyan mo naman ng pera yung GCash ko. Kasi literally, yung wallet ko, yung digital wallet ko, walang laman. I cannot buy. But how can they gamble? May limits yan, di ba? O anong nangyari ba dito parang mega credit card na to na walang mga limit. Na ang limit extend, na kahit yung capacity mo to pay. Because if you're gonna apply for a credit card, you look at your capacity to pay. But pagdating dito sa gambling, wala na ba yun? So there are so many questions, Mr. Chairman, that go into this, and it's so important that we take our time na himayin natin to. The initial concern, of course, is the disappearance, the life at stakes here, the people who have died. Pero sabi nga ni Senator Joel, mga estudyante. So again, I go back, we have a choice. Ang pinag-usapan kanina is nagbigay ng authority ang PAGCOR. That's one choice. We allow PAGCOR to do their mandate and to give authorities left and right. Second, we give a franchise and we put whatever monitoring, whatever check and balances we want. But third, we ban it. We determine as a country that this is not the kind of policy we want for our country. This is not the future we want. I don't have to say the words, Senator Joel said it before me. What example are we giving our children? Okay lang to gamble, okay lang umutang, okay lang magkandasira-sira yung pamilya. We have a choice to make a policy that says this is not okay. And I go back, my last point, if we look at the last few years, we allowed we passed a law taxing pogos. Sabi natin, we do not want pogos in the country, but given various factors, including the fact that the gambling does not happen in the country, Filipinos are not involved in gambling in the country, then we have allowed it, and we will be taxing the pogos, we will be taxing the employees, and so on and so forth. Yun yung ating source ng revenues for social concerns. Huwag na natin dagdagan. Let's see how this works first. Let's see what kind of revenues we get out of this. Yung palang alam na natin maraming problema. A colleague of ours has also filed a resolution seeing how damaging the existence of pogos are also in our country. Tapos dadagdagan pa natin, ginagawa pa natin pinapayagan ng maging kabuhayan to, not just for those operating the isabong, but also all the other members of that whole wheel that makes it turn, like I said, from doon sa nagpapautang, doon sa nagpapatakbo ng maliliit na betting stations, and so on and so forth. So, malalim ito, Mr. Chairman. Again, salamat na tinawag niyo itong hearing na to. Himayin po natin to, tsagain ho natin. Total, pareho naman tayong naka-break, pero itong mga kasama natin, nagka-campaign, nandito, tsagain ho natin kahit ilang araw ho to abutin. I'm sure willing ang mga kasamahan natin to find the solution to it, and I hope it is similar to what Senator Joel and I want na maban na itong mga ganitong klaseng activities. Maraming salamat.
Thank you, Senator Pia. Maraming salamat. Meron ba tayong tagapagko rito? Among, you have opening statement?
Good morning, Mr. Chair.
Sandali lang. Mag-oath muna tayo sa lahat ng mga resource persons sa COMSEC take charge.
Thank you, sir. Sir, before they take their oath, may I first recognize again the people from the private companies whom we have invited, sir. From the Globe GCash, the President and CEO Martha Sason is represented by Attorney Mark Anthony Amurao. From the Smart Pay Maya, sir, we have invited them, but they have not given us any representative of this moment. We would also like to recognize the presence of the President of Lucky 8 Star Quest, Attorney Angelo Nino Santos, who also represents Manila Arena. We also informed Attorney Santos last night, sir, that if possible, the guards would come with him, sir. We would also like to recognize the presence of Mr. Joe Pisano, CEO Jade Entertainment. He is present via the internet, sir, or virtual from the Jade Entertainment and Gaming Technology. From the Nevin Cockers Alliance, we would like to recognize the virtual presence of Attorney Magnum D. Agpawa. As stated earlier, the Manila Arena is represented by Attorney Angelo Nino Santos. May we request all the invited guests here at the session hall and at the gallery to please stand up and raise your right hand. Even those people who are online, tayo po tayo, sir. Tayo po tayo. Yung families din po, tayo po tayo. Mag-swear lang po tayo. Yung invited guest po. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this public hearing and investigation? Thank you very much. Please take seats.
Thank you. Hihingan muna lang natin muna ng opening statement is PAGCOR, then PNP. Then afterwards, para orderly yung ating hearing, we will take each case. There are 6 cases, There are 6 cases according to the PNP. So we'll take case number 1 involving ganito karaming mga missing persons. PNP muna magsalita sa kanilang report, then afterwards, pagsalitain natin yung management nung arena, then afterwards, yung family members, magsasalita sila. So, ganun ang treatment natin. Each case, 1 up to 6, PNP muna, then management ng arena, then followed by the family members. But, yun nga, pamuna ang PAGCOR, bigay ng opening statement nila, at then followed by the Chief PNP. Afterwards, the Senate President and Senator Lacson can start injecting their questions dahil pagbigyan natin sila at marami pa silang gagawin. So, ganun. Thank you. PAGCOR, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, honorable members of the committee, representatives from the law enforcement agencies and other national agencies, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. First of all, Mr. Chair, we would like to commit our cooperation and assistance in attaining the ends of this committee. PAGCOR is committed in helping and assisting our law enforcement agencies for this purpose. And also we would like to clarify the difference of traditional cockfight or sabong with that from Isabong. For the actual cockfights, it is the local government units who issue licenses to these cockpits and to these cockfights, ensuring that these are being lawfully conducted or performed. As to PAGCOR, we only license the remote betting of these licensed cockfights happening in licensed cockpits. So ang isabong po ay pumapasok lamang when two elements are met. Una po sa lahat ay ang pagla-livestream or pagpo-broadcast ng mga licensed cockfights from these licensed cockpit arenas. And these are being live-streamed or broadcasted to off-cockpit betting, to off-cockpit betting for purposes po of betting by the players. So again, Mr. Chair, we would like to have that clarification that traditional sabong po is different from e-sabong, the latter being regulated and licensed by the PAGCOR. And again, Mr. Chair, we commit to assisting our law enforcement agencies to attend the ends of this committee. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Maraming salamat. Quick question lang. Ilan ba ang isabong licensee natin?
Currently, Mr. Chair, we have 7.
7. Can you
Yes.
name the 7, please?
That is
For the record of this committee, name the 7 licensee. Well, how do you call that? Licensee, franchisee, or what?
licensing.
Licensee.
Licensed e-sabong
Is,
operators. The
kung-
7 licensed e-sabong operators, Mr. Chair, are Belvedere Vista Corporation, Lucky 8 Star Quest Incorporated, Visayas Cockers Club Incorporated, Jade Entertainment and Gaming Technologies Incorporated, Newin Cockers Alliance Gaming Corporation, Philippine Cockfighting International Incorporated, and Golden Buzzer Incorporated.
Maraming salamat. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Right, sir.
Just out of curiosity, out of the 7 licensees, is it only Lucky 8 that is filing for a franchise?
From what we are aware of, Lucky 8 po ang dininig ng Senado nitong huli, Mr. Chair.
Again, sorry, I did not get that. Again?
Lucky 8 lamang po ang dininig na franchise application ng huli, Mr. Chair. But I believe meron pa pong isang pending application, but ang nakarating pa lang po for hearing for the grant of franchise ay for Lucky 8 po.
What happens if, let's say, the franchise of Lucky 8 is given? What happens to the 6?
It is our possession, Mr. Chair, that being granted with valid licenses from PAGCOR, they are still considered valid licensees and are authorized to operate unless revoked po.
All right. What I mean is, yung isa, kumuha ng license, ng franchise. Nabigyan ng franchise. Ano ngayon ang diferensya nila doon sa nagkaroon ng franchise, doon sa 6 na hindi nabigyan, walang franchise at license lang ng PAGCOR? Anong diferensya nun?
For the franchise po, papasok lamang po ang PAGCOR, Mr. Chair, sa pag-regulate po sa kanila. And this is where our possession for the issuance, for the promulgation po of a gambling law would come in. Kasi po kung may gambling law, mas madali
Yeah,
po sa amin sa
okay.
PAGCOR ang
I will answer the question for you. Ano daw ang diferensya doon sa mabigyan ng franchise at saka doon sa 6 na walang franchise? I think the answer is very clear na itong mabibigyan ng prangkisa ay magtatamasa sa e-sabong for the next 25 years. Samantalang itong 6 na hindi nag-apply ng prangkisa, pagpasok ng bagong gobyerno, after this administration, ay subject to control na naman sila ng PAGCOR kung i-renew ba yung kanilang license. Di ba? Whereas kung yung franchisee, congressional franchise, will give them 25 years na mamamayagpag sa isabong. Do you agree with me?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
All right. So, presently, with or without franchise, pare-pareho sila.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Basta pwede sila mag-operate with or without a franchise.
Yes, Mr. Chair, as long as they have valid licenses from PAGCOR.
All right, thank you. Good.
Thank you, sir. I think
Just to follow up.
Senator Pinglaton.
Mr.
But
Chairman.
in other words, once granted a legislative franchise, you will lose regulatory powers over that licensee. Di ba?
We will continue regulating,
How can
Mr.
you
Chair.
regulate a franchise holder, congressional franchise holder, or legislative franchise holder? They're out of PAGCOR already.
If the license remains valid, Mr. Chair, we will still continue regulating them until the same has been revoked.
In other words, even if they're granted legislative franchise, parang sa NTC, yung sa franchise sa frequency, you can still exercise regulatory powers over the franchise holder.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Thank you for the clarification.
Eh, kung
Mr.
ayaw na
Chairman.
kumuha ng license sa inyo. No, ay kung
Senator, Senate President muna.
finish it
Please.
first.
Yes, sir.
Eh kung ayaw na kumuha ng license sa inyo, nung may franchise na siya, ayaw na kumuha ng license sa inyo.
In that case, Mr. Chair, we can only regulate po those with valid licenses with us.
And then, yun, tama is ano ni Senator Lacson. Pagka nabigyan ng franchise, wala na sa ano ninyo. Wala na sa jurisdiction ninyo.
Much is contained in a letter addressed to us. I received that letter from your chairperson, Andre Domingo. That your position is to oppose the granting of the legislative franchise. Is that correct?
As to the granting of the legislative franchise po, Mr. Chair, it is we don't oppose the granting po, but what we fully support is the promulgation po of a gambling law for PAGCOR to better regulate po the industry.
Parang iba yung nabasa ko sa letter ni Chairperson Domingo. Your position is to oppose the granting of the legislative franchise because ang reason sinite doon, mawawala nga yung regulatory powers ng PAGCOR over the franchise holder, the legislative franchise holder. Anyway, that's another matter that we must take up during the plenary debates of the franchise application. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Senator Tolentino first. Senator Tolentino. Go ahead.
Ma'am, are you listening? Thank you, Mr. Chairman. May sinabi po kayo kanina, there are two elements needed before an e-sabong operator is given a franchise by PAGCOR. Ang nabanggit nyo lang isa, live streaming. Siguro po nakalimutan nyo yung pangalawa. Ano po yung pangalawa?
No, Mr. Chair. The second po is for the purposes of betting po.
For purposes of betting. Siguro, habang tumatakbo tong hearing natin mamaya, o sagutin nyo paulit-ulit, saan galing po yung karapatan ninyong mag-issue ng prangkisa para sa isabong. Binabasa ko po itong Republic Act 9487. Wala naman po dito nakalagay na allowed kayo mag-issue ng prangkisa sa isabong. At binabasa ko rin po yung inyong regulatory framework for electronic sabong. Hindi ko alam kung saan nyo nakuha itong karapatan nyo o authority na mag-issue ng regulatory framework for isabong, except perhaps kung nagre-rely kayo sa opinion na lumabas galing sa Department of Justice or sa Office of the Solicitor General. Pero nagtatag pa kayo ng isang bagong opisina, isabong licensing department, na wala naman dati. So, babalik-balikan ko po yan saan nag-ugat ang karapatan ninyo, authority, na mag-issue ng prangkisa para sa isabong.
If I may be allowed.
Yeah, Senator Tolentino, I think you're referring to license in the franchise.
Yes,
License.
yes. Yung license, yung license. Nagkiklaim kayo na may delegated authority kayo na wala naman po sa Republic Act 9487 na hawak-hawak ko rito.
You have the floor, please. PAGCOR.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, we derive our authority po to grant licenses to e-sabong operators by virtue of OSG, opinion from the Office of the Solicitor General, dated May 31, 2018, opinion from the Department of Justice, dated January 28, 2021, and a memorandum po from the Executive Secretary, Office of the President. These three correspondences, Mr. Chair, identify or recognizes our authority, PAGCOR's authority to issue licenses.
Again, Mr. Chairman, wala po ako nakikitang legal authority. Isang authority galing sa batas, na galing sa Kongreso, na nagbibigay sa inyo ng karapatan na mag-issue ng lisensya para sa isabong. Dahil nakalagay nga dito sa Section 2, ay yung authority niyo hindi kasama po yung games of number. Kanina, dinidifferentiate mo yung physical sabong at isabong, pero again, medyo malabo po yan. Mr. Chairman, hahaba po ito. Marami pong factual issues na kailangan pang ipalabas. I refrain from pursuing this question, pero dapat po sagutin po nila yan. Salamat po, Mr. Chairman.
Chairman.
Maraming salamat, Senator Tolentino.
Mr. Chairman, very related, Mr. Chairman.
Okay lang sa iyo, Senator Pia? Si Senator Joel muna?
Just one minute lang, Mr. Chairman. This is very related. Thank you. Mr. Chairman, I agree with Senator Tolentino. This representation was part of the House of Representatives that passed the Charter of PAGCO, Republic Act number 9487. It's distinctly there, Mr. Chairman, Section 10. Nature and term, Mr. Chairman, shall not extend licenses to games explicitly mentioned like cockfighting, Mr. President, Mr. Chairman. So I wonder where PAGCOR is getting their legal basis as to how they can or why are they issuing licenses. I have the same passion with the senator from Batangas, Mr. Chairman, because I don't see any reason why they can actually be allowed to give out licenses like this. Another thing, Mr. Chairman, I know this is far from this, Mr. Chairman. Yung GCash, for instance, yung Globe. Bakit? In 2 minutes, pwede ka nang magtumaya ng online sabong, Mr. Chairman. Kahit sinong may GCash. Kasama din ba sa franchise nila yun? So I'm just wondering, Mr. Chairman, just want to put that on record. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Senator Pia.
Thank you, Senator Pia. You have the floor.
Yes. Actually, Mr. Chairman, my questions are really just all follow-ups to the questions asked by our colleagues for their clarification. PAGCOR, in response to Senator Tolentino, mentioned issuances or authorities, issuances from Solgen, Office of the Executive Secretary, and DOJ. Can we get copies of that? And sana during this hearing, para we can have follow-up questions. Kasi I'm sure my colleagues would also want to know what are these issuances that are now the basis of PAGCOR's authority to grant online gaming, because Senator Joel already says that cockfighting per se was already excluded. So kung merong mga bagong issuances na ganito, di natin alam, put it on record so that we can also study it. That's one question. Can I just get a confirmation from PAGCOR that they will provide ASAP?
Yes, PAGCOR, can you give
Yes,
us the requirements of Senator Pia?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Yes,
and then
approbative, Senator Pia.
And then my second question also is a follow-up. I think this was in response to the Senate President, Senator Soto's question on PAGCOR's authority. On who are these grantees of PAGCOR. And I think PAGCOR mentioned, was it 7? So can we, and I'm not sure if the names were mentioned, but in any case, there can be put on record the names of each of these grantees and who are the people behind this. So the incorporators, the president, the managing boards. I'd like to know that, Mr. President. Let's put that on record as well. So that we know who are these personalities, because we don't want them to be hiding behind, their corporate veil. We want them to be, they should all be willing to show their face and acknowledge that this activity that they have ventured in is causing these kind of problems and be accountable for it. So we want to get their full names, Mr. President. Can we do that? Mr. Chairman, can we do that?
Yes, we can do that right away, Senator Pia. PAGCOR, can you name names? Who are these, who are the persons behind these seven licenses na binigyan ninyo ng license? Mga pangalan.
For Belvedere, Mr. Chair, for Belvedere Vista Corporation.
May request dito na medyo pwede mong anyway, may cover man tayo sa gilid. Kung pwede pa samantala, tanggalin mo lang muna sandali, then balik mo lang
Yes,
mamaya
Mr.
after
Chair.
ka magsalita. Kasi hindi daw marinig, sabi nung media na nagmumonitor.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Sige, please.
For Belvedere Vista Corporation, Mr. Chair, we have Mr. Rogelio Morales. For Lucky 8 Star Quest Incorporated, our authorized representative for that is Attorney Angelo Nino Santos. For Visayas Cockers Club Incorporated, Mr. Christopher Santiago. For
Gusto ni Senator Pia malaman
Complete, not just representative. Yes,
Complete.
Mr. Chairman.
kasi baka mamaya ito isa lang tao ito, tapos gusto niya malaman yung
we will provide,
Stockholder.
Mr. Chair.
Yeah, the incorporators, the board of directors, and the whole management team from the president, the vice president, the general manager.
Anyway, Senator Pia, later on sa hearing natin,
Yeah.
produce mo yun at i-present mo dito dito sa hearing natin para ma-put on record kung sino yung mga tao na yan, ha?
Yes.
Yes, Mr.
Siguro, Mr. Chairman, since she only has itong sabi niyang representative, yun kahit isang name na nga, ituloy na niya yun para we can do our research on them, and then later on, at the proper time, I leave it up to you, Mr. Chairman, pag ready na sila, ibigay nila yung kompleto. Pero pabigay na lang natin yung part na yun.
Okay. Anyway,
Itutuloy natin.
yeah, we will require you to submit the latest general information sheet submitted to SEC, itong mga licensee na ito.
Yes,
Pasabit niyo
Mr.
sa amin, ha?
Yes, Mr.
And
Chair.
aside from that, gusto talaga ni Senator Pia na para put on record dito sa hearing, banggitin mo mamaya yung mga pangalan ng mga tao niyan behind these 7 companies na binigyan niyo ng license.
Yes,
Later on,
Mr. Chair.
kasi unahan muna natin yung paghahanap ng mga missing persons. Balikan,
Yes, Mr.
balikan ka namin mamaya. Is it okay with you, Senator Pia?
Of course, Mr. Chairman. In fact, I don't expect na matapos nyo naman to today. So I have lots of questions I want to prepare, and later on I have 2 doctor's appointments. So with your indulgence, I'd like to propound many more questions later on. So go ahead with your flow. Di na ho ako mag-i-interrupt, pero ma-reserve lang ako ng mga questions ko.
Hindi ka nag-interrupt. Your interruption is very necessary for this
Thank you.
hearing. And
Thank you, Mr.
with-
Chairman.
With your indulgence, kung after your doctor's appointment, balikan mo kami dito at importante yung mga tanong mo. Maraming salamat,
Thank you.
Senator Pia. So, from here, bigyan mo muna natin yung opening statement ni Chief PNP. Pakinggan mo natin. Go ahead.
Mr. Chair, Your Honors, magandang umaga po. To the Honorable Chairman of the Senate Committee on Public Order and Dangerous Drugs, Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa, all the distinguished legislators present here and joining us online or virtually, the resource persons and attendees present today. Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Philippine National Police manifests our full support, noble intent and endeavor of this honorable committee on the hearing and investigation in aid of legislation on the missing persons allegedly involved in Sabong and Isabong related incidents, with the end view of recommending legislative measures that would address similar incidents. In fact, your Philippine National Police, through our Criminal Investigation and Detection Group, is investigating on the matter, wherein the details will be presented during this hearing, should the Honorable Committee requires. The PNP lauds the wisdom of the legislator in pursuing the foregoing investigation. Enforcing the law against criminals and other lawless elements is our mandate, and we hope that with this investigation, witnesses come out in the open so that we could easily identify the perpetrators and hold them accountable for their criminal acts. These numerous incidents in different areas or regions since last year is alarming. And truly, we agree that this is a challenge to the investigation part of law enforcement. However, with some leads and pieces of evidence discovered, eventually we could file the appropriate charges and keep the perpetrators behind bar without bail and bring justice to the victims and their families. On behalf of the entire Philippine National Police, I would like to express our sincerest gratitude to the distinguished chairman and the members of this committee for inviting the PNP to this public hearing and inquiry in aid of legislation to address such problems in the country. This is consistent with existing programs and activities of the PNP. And as one of your law enforcement agencies, we are with you in all the measures undertaken that will enhance the enforcement of our laws, rules, and regulations for a highly capable, effective, and credible police force working in partnership with a responsive community towards the attainment of a safer place to live, work, and do business. Maraming salamat po, Your Honor, and we will be ready to give you the details of the ongoing investigation. Wait.
Thank you, Police General Junardo Carlos. Again, may brotherly reminder sa inyo. Number one, bilisan yung investigasyon ninyo. At sana mayroon ng resolution ito in ito coming days. Alam ko meron kayong mga leads at napakaraming leads yan. You exploit all those leads. Number two, please monitor all our policemen down to the lowest level of command, yung mga police station. Sabihan niyo yung mga commanders ninyo doon na bantayan niyo ating mga pulis at nakakahiya kung sila na naman ay mang-hold up para lang pang isabong. I-account ninyo yung mga tao ninyo para hindi tayo malagay sa kakahiyan. Yun lang. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, we will do that, sir. We are doing that already, sir. We will continue following instructions.
Yes, maraming salamat. So, from here, we will hear case number 1. As I've said, una magsalita ang progress report ng PNP sa kanilang investigation. Susunod, sasagutin ito ng management ng arena kung saan nangyayari yung kung mayroong abduction or basta missing person. Then, lastly, yung pamilya na andito ngayon. So for case number 1, ito yung nangyari doon sa Manila Arena last January 13, 2022. This case opened the floodgates of all the other unreported and unacted cases. Dahil nga, unreported, so unacted. Nung nag-follow up ang CIDG, dito lang nalaman na umabot na pala ng 31. So ito yung pinakaunang case na nag-open up ang lahat. So case number 1, Manila Arena last January 13, 2022, victimizing Jad Claude Vinson Inonog, Marlon Bakay, James Bakay, Mark Joseph Velasco, Rondel Cristorum, and Ruel Gomez. 6 sila, 5 taga Tanay Rizal at 1 taga Manila. Yung taga Manila, yung isa, yung gaffer. So, andito yung mga mahal nila sa buhay. I think that they are complete according to our COMSEC. So, PNP, what's your update on this case?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, Your Honor. May we be allowed, sir, that our Special Investigation Task Group to present the briefing, the presentation as to the updates and what police actions have been done by our Philippine National Police, particularly our CIDG under Police Major General Bert Pero, sir.
Go ahead, you have the floor. General Pero.
Mayong buntag, Sir Chair and Your Honors. Our SITG Commander tasked to brief this morning is Colonel Averin, and he will be briefing us on the progress of our investigation. Thank you, sir.
General Pero, I would like to thank you. Kahit na you are only 6 days away from your retirement, still hindi mo binibitawan itong kaso ng Isabong 31. Maraming salamat in behalf of the families and in behalf of the Filipino nation. Thank you sa patuloy mong pag-imbestiga. So go ahead, Colonel Averin.